2-minute warning.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the virtual Heinz Field, aka the Steel Basement. And yeah, you guys, you saw me getting myself together, putting a little lotion on, making sure the mouth and the neck area and all of that is lathered. Don't judge me. I'm human just like you guys are. I think we have resolved the issue, guys, with me being able to put the link out early. I think we have resolved it. I actually have two chats here going for whatever reason. Give me a second. I got two chat windows going here in this software, but the software has been integrated. I just saw, so you guys that don't know, I use OBS Live. They now have an integration with YouTube, so it should allow me to do what I once did before. You can create the events within the software, and there's a link that's produced. That's what I did tonight, and it worked. So just as I was telling you guys last week that I wasn't going to do that anymore, lo and behold, it worked. All right, so let me close out one of these chat windows. Here we go, because I don't want to see two of them. And let's get to it. So, of course, what we're going to do first and foremost, let's say hello to the early commenters. Rajon39, C. Antoine Hill, Brent Fox. Got to give you a special shout out. He is a member of the channel. I do have special content coming for you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Let's just shoot for it tomorrow. The NFL has said that the all 22 footage was going to be available. I do see it from Thursday's game, but our game isn't showing yet, so maybe they're a little late. I don't know, but either way, if the all 22 is not available, I'm just going to show the camera, the TV view, but break down a couple of these plays, or at least show them to you a second time, some of the plays that I'll talk about tonight. So that's coming. And thank you again for being a member of the channel. Mr. Winningham, how you doing this evening, sir? Mr. ABS, hello, Miss Lanisha, how you doing this evening? Hope you're well. Who else we got in here? Jordan Mid, Lydell Dorsey. And I saw your comment as well, Lydell. I think may have been on Twitter or might have been in the video. You're referring to how, people are turning on Big Ben and things of that nature. I'm going to get further into that tonight, man. But again, I'm going to try to be quick tonight in terms of my comments. Y'all know this tonight that you guys can call in. So I want to give you all more of that opportunity. So I'm going to try to be as fast as I can with my thoughts. Ali Howard, Jared Devil, Jack Bauer, Rail Fax, Y Diggy, what's up, brother? Who else is in here? The Real Missy, how you doing this evening, Miss Lady? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is okay. My brother Kenyon in the building, of course. Who else is up in here? Ricard Alexis in the building. Luis D, what's up, Luis? Don't want to spend too much time here. I'm just checking to see if any of the other ladies are here because we don't want to miss them. Cesar Diaz, Isaac Held. Did I say that correctly? Vistalite. All right, let's get to it. C-Rex, what's going on? Daryl Dukes just popped up. What's going on, brother? How you doing? All right, let's get into it, man. I'm going to get some of the preliminary stuff out the way. Somebody said Odessa's in here. I missed her. There she is. Hello, Miss Odessa. How you doing this evening? Hope you are well. And y'all know the routine, man. We always got to make sure we shout out our ladies, especially. Us fellas, who cares, right? But the ladies, we got to take care of them and treat them like the ladies that they are. But all right, man, let's get into it. First couple things we'll talk about from Tomlin's presser. Nothing really to dive so deep into. Let me cut this brightness down for whatever reason and threw the Chris Brown or Drake effect on me. It made me super light. As you guys can tell, I am not that fair of skin, but the lighting just did that to me just there. I don't know what that was all about, but let me see what's going on. I don't know. We'll leave it. Let's see. He doesn't really say too much. I mean, there's some little things that you can take from, some little things that he gives you, some little tidbits. He doesn't give you a whole lot during the Tuesday press conference. You know the structure. You know what he's gonna say. We'll let certain guys, their participation be the guide on whether or not they're gonna play. Talks a little bit about the opponent. And that's about it. He does field a few questions. And I don't think there was anything, hardcore pressing, to pull from that. Maybe some of you guys may have heard something that I might miss here. Because like I said, I don't have a whole lot from Tomlin. But he did talk about the injuries. Of course, we could have assumed this one. Chooks is in concussion protocol. Juju is expected to practice this week. Again, another one of those. Let his participation be the guide. And then everyone else that was out last week, all of the people, minus Tyson Alu, obviously, he's going to be done pretty much for the season. But everyone else, that was a scratch. And I'm not talking about the injury reserve guys. I'm talking about, the TJ Watts of the world and the Alex Highsmiths, the Deontay Johnsons, the Carlos Davises. Maybe missing a person or two there, I'm not sure. But basically everyone that was injured is expected to participate in practice, and we'll keep a close eye on it tomorrow, Thursday, and by Friday we'll kind of know, who looks like they may be out and who might be a game time decision, et cetera, et cetera. Also, I found out that the Steelers lead the league right now in drops with 12 drops. That is an NFL high. It's not good. It's not good. It's bad enough that the offense can't get off the ground or can't get themselves going, so to speak. But you cannot have that. And like I said, man, Najee had, I counted 5, but then, after listening to some other people, they were kind of saying there was a few that you can't really put on Najee per se, but he had a legitimate 3 drops in that game. And again, he's a rookie. But given the fact that the dude was targeted 19 times, we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. He caught 14 of them, led the team in receptions as well as yards. I think he had 102. That in itself right there, I mean, I don't want an offense like that where we're feeding him the ball in the air, where we're forcing it to him. Because, again, most of those were check downs. It wasn't like they were designed. Yeah. Now, if it works on a week or two and you're taking advantage of some things that you see, great. But that's not good when you're targeting your running back 19 times versus handing the ball off to him 19 times and allowing him to be successful that way. So, the fact that he was thrown at 19 times, man, and he dropped a few, it is what it is. I'm not going to question his hands. I'm just going to point out the facts. He's a rookie, may have been trying to press and, do some things, turn up field too early. I don't know. But thrown at 19 times, you catch 14 of them, you have a few drops in there. I know it looked bad, but considering the amount of targets and the amount that he caught, I'm not ready to say that the dude has an issue. He just need to work on his concentration. Tyler Boyd made some comments about the Steelers. Now, I kind of, I agree pretty much with what Mike Tomlin said as well. I'm not concerned with his comments. There's no validity to it. What I will say is, and I mentioned this to Tony and Kenyon offline. I mean, when you look at what Tyler Boyd was describing, visually it kind of matches what he was saying, even though I still don't believe that was the case. Not the way he was saying it. I mean, you got to remember, this guy is a Pittsburgh, he's a Pittsburgh guy. You know what I'm saying? So could that have been a little hyperbole? Or like some people say, hyperbole? Sure. Do I really think that the team just gave up to the degree that he was saying? I do not. Could the team have realized, look, we're out of it, and they just wasn't working as hard at that point in the game? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, come on, we all human, right? When you know it's out of reach, or you're frustrated because things aren't working, or you're frustrated because the offense just can't get going, or you're frustrated because you gave up a big play, or you're frustrated because, the run is getting to you. I mean, human nature. There's a certain degree of you giving up. Not everybody does that, but we all know what that means. And again, I do not believe for one moment, I do think that Tyler Boyd was, throwing some salt on the wound. And it's crazy, the narratives, guys, the narratives out there. It's crazy how some of you fans just run with any narrative that you see without developing your own narrative. And what I mean by that, you just go off of what the media pundits say, or you go off of a rumor or something, or a theory that someone puts on Twitter or any other social media platform, and now you're full in on it, like without having any of your own thoughts. It is crazy. You should have seen the amount of people that was jumping all over the Tyler Boyd comments, like, yeah, that's gonna happen under Tomlin's watch. And I'm like, I'm just saying, listen, hate or love the coaching staff. This is the same coaching staff that went 8-8 with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, who were battling to be the starter each week. No offense. You make an aggressive move and you trade for Minka. I mean, if there was ever a time to give up, or if there was ever a time for the coach to quote unquote lose the locker room, that was the year. You see what I'm saying? Some of the narratives just don't make sense. We saying that in week 3, like, again, and who knows? What if we end up going 1-16? It's like nobody knows any of that today. That's why I'm like, it's so crazy to see how the narratives that people feed into. It is insane. But hey, it's your opinion. Next thing I wanted to talk about really quick, man, before I talk about some of the plays. And this time, guys, to kind of keep it short, I only did the first half, and I picked out some offensive plays to give you guys timestamps to go take a look at those. Because again, without being able to show you guys the film in this setting, it doesn't make sense for me to chronicleize each one of them, and it just takes too much time. Again, like I said, the Terrible Towel Tuesday, since I'm not showing NFL footage publicly, I want this to become more of the call-in show. Like, what does SteelerNation say? And I reflect on those things and give you some brief thoughts. So condensed it a little bit tonight, and then I'm going to open it up to the phone lines. But yeah, next thing I wanted to talk about really quick here, man, Jamir Jones. Guys, whoa. Whoa. Jamir Jones got waived. Yes. Let that sink in for a second. I'm going to give me a sip of water. Let that sink in. Jamir Jones was waived today. Now, here's the thing. Could it mean that he'll circle back to the practice squad? Possibly. Derek Tuska was promoted to the 53-man roster. And like I said, Jamir Jones was waived. Now, there's a couple interesting things to pull from that really quick. If you're willing to... Well, no, I can't say that because Jamir Jones was already on the 53. That's right. So what I was about to say isn't true. I was going to say, does that give us a peek into the possible availability of Highsmith and Watt? No, it doesn't, because Jamir Jones made the 53. So it was already Watt, Ingram, Highsmith, and Jones. So now Tuska will take his place, and we'll see. But like I said, maybe Jamir Jones circles back to the practice squad. But, he just didn't perform well enough. He just didn't perform well enough. And again, I honestly didn't look at both guys to compare the two, but obviously there was something there that the Steelers felt like they'd prefer to promote him rather than keep Jones on the 53-man. But it's just interesting, man, because, this is a guy that a lot of us campaigned for. You heard me talk about it quite a bit in preseason. I think he earned his roster spot, but when the lights was on, he didn't do much. And you're going to say, is it fair for him to, for us to judge him on one game? Maybe not, man, but there was some clips circulating. And I saw it on the TV view, but again, I don't have the All-22 yet, thanks NFL. But luckily you have other people who have the All-22, whether they're paying for the international version or they have some other means of getting it. There's clips floating around with him, man, that it's lollygagging ain't even the word, bro. I mean, he is going like 40% speed to try to crash down. And what the Bengals were doing mostly when they were running the football, that whole zone blocking scheme, man. And Joe Mixon was able to cut back quite often. They would crash to the right. Joe Mixon would ride it for a second, and he hits it back either up the middle or he back, to the left. And each time, in most cases, when he popped off a decent run, whether it was Jones or Tuska, they was unable to, scrape down on the backside and make that tackle. These are tackles that we've seen T.J. Watt do. These are tackles that Bud Dupree used to make a lot. And those guys weren't getting it done. But so like I said, I'll have to go back and look to, really hone in on those guys to see if, and look, there's the camera bugging on me again, but that's all right. I could turn the light on. I'd have to go back and look at those guys and see if I can identify, which one of those guys played better. But man, the clips floating around do not look good for Jamir Jones. So who knows, man? Maybe the lights were a little too bright, or, it was the first taste of a real NFL in action, like real season game. And, welcome to the NFL moment. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if he circles back, or if not, let's root for Tuska. And hopefully he can bring something to the table. All right, so let me go through these plays really quick, and then I'll give you my quick thoughts again, on Ben Roethlisberger, kind of add on to what, a little different than what I was saying. Well, a little bit of what I was saying on Sunday after the game, but I'll add to that. So really quick, and this is for you guys that are able to watch the game again. I'm just giving you these timestamps and, just go back and take a look at these plays. So 10 minutes and 48 seconds in the first quarter. Najee Harris, we run some type of counter action, where we got Dan Moore, is pulling, basically the lead blocker. Kendrick Green is called for holding, but Najee was able to pick up about 13 yards on that play. Positive run. And when you go back and look at it, I tried the best I could to look at it in slow motion. Does Kendrick Green have to hold there? Maybe, maybe not. It looks like, from the angle, I'll be able to see it better once I get to All-22. It looks like that Najee probably still gets past that guy. It's hard to tell if that guy is going to be as disruptive, but you would think, the initial contact is the initial block, and then a little bit after that, you would think that's when the hold happens. So I kind of feel like from looking at it on the TV angle that the hold was unnecessary, and Najee still would have been able to do what he did. And just being able to, knife through that whole situation, how he ends up running in between Kevin Dotson and his, defender, that was a positive play that got called back right away. So go take a look at that. 7 minutes and 49 second mark. The interception by Edmonds. This was interesting because I'm sitting here racking my brain, man, and I can't wait till I can see it from an all-22 view. I'm trying to figure out exactly what coverage that was. Now, initially, to me, it looks like a Tampa 2 because of the fact that Devin Bush carried down the seam so far. You go back and look at that play, and it would show you why Joe Burrow throws it high because Devin Bush is right underneath. He's all over that. In fact, I would love to see the end zone view to kind of understand why Burrow decided to go there with Minka being right over the top of that. Because remember, he tried to fit it in. Devin Bush is right under that. He throws it high, tight end. I think it was a tight end. He tries to go up. It bounces off his hands, hits Minka. Minka almost gets it. But then that pops it up even further. Terrell Edmonds is able to get the pick. Great play by the defense. And again, you got to go back and credit Devin Bush on that because Bush is all under that. Forced the high throw. Cam Hayward also was bearing down on Joe Burrow, so he had to get rid of the ball. But I really want to know what coverage that was because what threw me off, if it was cover 6, if you look at Cam Sutton on that play, Cam Sutton takes his man straight up, not vertical. His man goes inside, like right off of the line. So it might have been cover 6 where, of course, you're playing quarters on one side and maybe Sutton is just using his acumen to understand they were in, empty. There was no threat coming his way, really. There was one other guy over there that was going vertical, but Edmonds was back there to take him. So maybe, Cam improvised and he followed his man inside. It was just straight up man. And for some people that don't understand that, quarters coverage turns into man, right? And depending on if you're doing, standard cover 4 quarters, or if you're doing palm, or if there's a special call, that kind of dictates what you do in the offensive formation as far as, how many eligibles they have and, the field side versus the boundary. It's a lot of different factors there. But that's what it looks like to me. Maybe it was cover 6 and they played it as not so much of a traditional cover 6, meaning that you threw in Tampa 2 in there because, again, cover 6 is a combination of cover 2 and cover 4. I don't know. It could just be a headsy play by Cam Sutton, but if you go back and watch that play, it was interesting how everyone else was reacting and Sutton just follows his guy. And then, like I said, it wouldn't be so odd if I didn't see Devin Bush carry him so far. And maybe Devin Bush just did that because that was the only route coming right at him. I don't know. Either way, it was a good play by the defense. It was the best play by the defense all day. And there you have it. But the Steelers really didn't do anything with it, so it didn't matter, right? So right after that, 7 minutes and 37 seconds, Najee has a chance to bounce to the left outside or perhaps cut back on the right side where he had 2 blockers. He had Juju Smith-Schuster and James Washington. I want to say James Washington, I believe, was coming across the formation, with the jet motion. It might have been Juju, but I think it was James Washington. Go back and look at that play. Najee takes it inside, picks up a few yards, but again, it's not as fair to judge it from the TV angle. I really want to see that end zone view, but it clearly looked like Najee had an opportunity to bounce outside to the left, or if he cuts back and goes to the right, he has Washington and Juju, and they're going to be man on man. And you're going to pick up relatively decent yards there. At least I'm thinking 6 to 7 yards because there was another safety was back there, but then it's one-on-one with him and Najee, but it would have been a more positive game. Little subtle things like that. And remember I said that because I got something else to say about Najee here in a moment. Just little subtle changes. 6 minutes and 51 seconds. This was the Ben pump fake. And it looked like Najee actually trips over Ben Roethlisberger on that play. Because Hubbard comes up the middle, and you see Najee on the ground, and at first I thought maybe he was trying to cut him and he missed. But I don't think that was the case, because when you look at the play, I looked at it like 7 times. Najee first pass protects to his left. Helps out over here. Then he comes back. Good recognition by him. He scans his right. He notices Hubbard breaks free. He goes to get him, and it looks like him and Ben collided. When Ben pump faked and stepped up, it looks like Najee literally, his lower body tripped over Ben's legs, and he ends up on the ground. And we know what happened from there. Hubbard hits Ben's arm. Ball flips up. They get the interception. But go back and look at that play, man. It was very interesting. Again, I'm not going to say Ben shouldn't pump fake because he's been doing it his whole career. It's just that, y'all remember when I said it, man, that pump fake, I just feel like at this stage of his career, it's going to cost us at some point, and it's already starting to show up. 1 minute and 29 second mark of the first quarter. Dotson gets beat off the line. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. The guy who's supposed to be our best offensive lineman didn't look that well, folks. Kevin Dotson didn't look that good in this game, man. He did not. Did not look that great. There was quite a few opportunities and plays that I saw, man. I'm like, whoa. Didn't look like the guy that I would trust the most on this line, which I'm probably still going to lean his way. You know, it's still early. He's still a second-year player. But he had his hands full in this game, man. And on that play, 1 minute and 29 seconds of the first quarter, Dotson, I mean, the dude beats him clean off the line, and he tackles Najee like 2-3 yards behind the line. Moving on to the second quarter, and I got about 4 plays just to point out here. And like I said, then after that, I'll give you my quick recap on Najee and Ben, and then we'll open it up for the calls. For you guys that might not be listening to the screen, the phone number to call is, well, I said listening to the screen. If you're not watching the screen and you're just listening, that's what I meant to say. If you want to call in, the phone number is area 619-924-0818. Again, 619-924-0818. All right, second quarter, 12-minute and 36-second mark. I wrote here that wide receivers don't read blitz, and none of them turn around. And Claypool appears to be the guy that Ben was going after. Remember the one he threw? It was like a 3rd and 6, and the ball just sailed past everybody. Claypool never turned around. Clearly, Ben was expecting him to read hot. Nobody adjusted to the fact that you saw the blitz coming. First of all, they were packed up on the line of scrimmage. And then second of all, it takes you a second to read the action as the receiver. You're taught that in the NFL. You're taught that in college. Read the action. You got to read the play and the defense the same way the quarterback does. That's what they call quarterback and receiver being on the same page. Nobody turns around. Nobody makes themselves the eligible hot read. So that's just miscommunication right there, and, you know, the lack of attention to detail in that scenario. And initially, this is why I say, guys, initially after the game, well, during the game, and that's why the post-game show is the knee-jerk reaction before I can actually go back and digest. During the game, I said, what is Ben doing? Who's he throwing at? I put it on Ben. Come to find out, receivers failed him in that scenario. 7 minutes and 29-second mark of the second quarter. Ben has to get rid of the ball here. This was that play action. This was that one where Ben scrambled to his left, scrambled to his right, scrambled to the left, scrambled to the right. You know, he was jamming out there, boy. He was going back and forth like that was his favorite groove was on. To the left, to the right, to the left. I mean, what was he doing, bro? He was scrambling for about 7 seconds at least. It looked like. It felt like it. Even with my count here, just watching it, I'm like, dog, this is about 7 seconds or so. And he gets sacked. And that's the main thing, the main one that I was talking about post-game when I said, yo, in that scenario, just throw the ball away. He's actually going towards the sideline. He's well out of the box. And I think he did that like 2 or 3 times in the game. But that one in particular stood out. Come on, Ben. Come on, get rid of it. Like, Big Ben is, I don't know if it exists anymore. I'm going to get to it. Give me a second. 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Ben pump fakes and looks like Najee trips. Oh, wait. I'm reading the wrong thing. That's first quarter. And that, again, there's 2 pump fakes there, but that was the first quarter. I'm reading the wrong one. So after, what did I say, 7 minutes, and I gave you guys the wrong timestamp. I think I was looking at the first quarter. So the play I just described was 7 minutes, 29-second mark of the second quarter. Okay, again, 7 minutes, 29-second mark of the second quarter. So after that, 5 minutes and 57-second mark, there was a holding call by Kevin Dotson. Holding call by Kevin Dotson, and Najee had a nice pickup on that play. You remember? It was about 9 to 10 yards. Kevin Dotson is holding Pratt, I believe is who he was holding, number 57. Clear hold. Dotson also had a false start. So like I said, Kevin Dotson didn't have the best of the games. Now, right after that, Najee Harris, at the 5-minute and 40-second mark, he picks up 20 yards on the ground. Great blocking on the play. Tremendous blocking on the play. Trey Turner was even making blocks downfield on the second and third level. Came right back to Najee. He picks it up because at that time it was either third, it must have been second, or it could have been first, but it was something and 17. I think it was second and 17 perhaps. Or it might have been first and 17, but I just know it was 17 yards to go, and Najee picked it up and then some. Great run, and that's why I was saying, well, I'll save it for the last part because I'm going to kind of tie in where the offensive line is as well as where Ben is, and then I'll open it up for calls. So go watch that play, guys. Again, it's at 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and that's pretty much the last play that I wanted to point out as far as timestamp. That full drive there was the best drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers of the whole game, in my opinion. And guess what they were doing? Up-tempo. Remember, they picked up the pace. Call it no huddle, call it no up-tempo. I don't know what you call it, but, you recall Ben Roethlisberger saying that he doesn't have the no huddle option anymore. And this is the reason why you see who you see there in the thumbnail. Matt Canada. Listen, I'm not fully judging Matt Canada on what his offense will be while Ben Roethlisberger is at the helm. You guys already know why. I said it last week. I said it on Sunday. Ben Roethlisberger is given the will or the freedom to basically influence the play calls. Matt Canada already said he's going to call the plays that Ben is comfortable with. And after 17-year career, you're playing in your 18th year, you've earned that. You've earned that. Ben Roethlisberger will get a bust in Canton. He's a Hall of Famer. He's earned that. So I'm not going to outright judge Matt Canada's offense based off of Ben Roethlisberger orchestrating it. But what I will say, because this question has come up a few times, if there's any validity to the fact that Ben doesn't have the no huddle option, Canada, I don't understand what's going on here. I have repeatedly and religiously said that Ben Roethlisberger operates pretty well in no huddle situations, or when it's up tempo, or when he's just doing a little muddle huddle and he's calling plays. He's good at that. He has been. Is he as good as he once was? I don't know. But proof is in the pudding. We went up tempo on that drive and we went right down the field and scored. And it was a mix of everything, run and pass. So I'm saying it right now, loud and clear, Mr. Canada. If you have not built that option into the offense, I don't understand that. I don't. Do I know it's true or not? I don't. Did Ben Roethlisberger kind of allude to the fact that he doesn't have the option? He did. But then he cleaned it up and said that no, it's, he kind of said, well, whatever option we need is there. But it does sound like there's some truth to the fact that the traditional no huddle isn't available to him. And if that is the case, I'm a little confused. And that's why I have Matt Canada as the keynote. When you have a conference, you have a keynote speaker. No, he is the keynote focus. That thumbnail right there. We got questions for him. If that is the case, if that turns out to be true, I got a lot of questions. But let me talk about the offensive line and Ben Roethlisberger really quick, and then the floor is you guys. The offensive line is not as bad as we think, man. Sounds crazy that I'm saying that, right? Let me add some context. Have they played great? They have not. Have they been completely trash? I don't think so. Do I actually feel like there is room for improvement? Because I said Sunday that I didn't think so. But again, after watching the film, And if you listen to what, what's my man, Big Boy, what Zach Banner said last week, I'm starting to believe what Zach Banner was saying. When you look at the film over and over, there are near misses. Now, there's times where they're getting beat. Come on, it happens, yes. Kevin Dotson was not having a good game. There was a couple moments where Trey Turner, was getting pushed around on some of those sacks. And y'all already know, man, how I feel about the kid. Kendrick Green is just going to have to get stronger. And I don't know what it's going to take to do that, but he's just going to have to get stronger. But there have been good moments in each one of these games when you look at it for play. If you look at it play for play, that run by Najee, now keep this in mind, Najee had 3 runs in this game that was plus 10 yards. A couple of them got called back. But when you just go back and look at the blocking wasn't bad. So I think the opportunity is there. Now, are they going to be this stellar offensive line? I don't see that happening. But I do think that they might be able to at least be serviceable at best. Now, it's hard to believe that because we have a lot of unsuccessful runs. But what Matt Canada is going to have to do is you're going to have to call plays and formations and whatever the case may be that fits what you have on the field right now. You're going to have to play to their strength. Get them on the move more. Maybe run a little more power. You got 2 guards that can pull. 2. We're not running a whole lot of power. Keep pulling Kendrick Green. That's where he's best at. I know it sounds crazy to pull a center, but yes, that happens in today's NFL. We've been doing it since Pouncey. You don't have to play to your strengths, which you cannot do, Matt Canada. And it's crazy because Tomlin said before the game that you would be stupid to run from a heavy formation into the fronts that Cincinnati puts on display. Tomlin said it. Dog, you can't make this stuff up. And of course, people say that's Tomlin's fault. That they don't let none of the position coaches coach. But he literally said the day before on his weekly show, I think it's with Severin or Labiola, one of those dudes. He literally said, dog, you would be stupid to run from heavy formation, out of heavy, into the front that Cincinnati puts on display. And we did it. Not all game, but we did it multiple times. You can't make this up. This is just like when Tomlin was like, listen, you guys stay off of social media. Don't talk too much. And you got AB like this. As he's saying it. It was one of those moments. The man get egg on his face and don't even know why. You know what I mean? You can't make this stuff up, man. Shout outs to Shadow Slayer. Round of applause for the donation. Shadow says, Sim, it's too early to tell if Ben is washed and the offensive line not good right now. We have to see, but lost some ability in my opinion. I'm about to get to Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah, man, listen. It's week 3. Let's not push the panic button. But you can hover your hand over it. You can do like this. Just don't push it yet. Just do like this. Just don't push it. It's week 3, okay? We have an extra week this season. Doesn't look promising going into Green Bay. I mean, listen, I'm going to tell you right now. What did I say before the season started? I said at best we come out 2-2. Remember I said that? I said it's very possible that the Steelers would only be 2-2 after the first 4 weeks. And most of y'all was saying, nah, we could be 4-0. We could be 4-0. Man, we definitely going to be 3-1. That's what y'all was telling me. Y'all remember that? That's what y'all was telling me. Y'all said Sim was crazy. Nah, I think we might be 4-0. With that offense, remember? Some of y'all right in here tonight said that. Man, that offense, man, nah, man. At worst, I'm only thinking 3-1. Okay. Well, you're right. But it could very well be in reverse. We could be 3 in the losing column and 1 in the win column. So this game going into Green Bay was already, y'all heard me say at the beginning of the season, like, oh man, Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying. And my concern was, man, young secondary, da-da-da-da-da. Joe Hayden can't run the way he used to. Devontae Adams. Man, this was before all of this. Now seeing how we look, I don't feel comfortable. I'm not going to put a hex on us and say we ain't going to win. But I don't feel comfortable going to no Green Bay the way they looking. So I'm just saying. But the offensive, listen, man, even if we end up 1-3, that's the first quarter of the season for the most part. Things could change. We'll just have to see. I'm not hitting the panic button yet, but I got my eyes open because this could be the year. Everybody, they toss it around like it's a Tomlin thing, but everybody keeps saying, well, this could be the season that he has his first losing season, and like they throwing it on him like it's an achievement that he you know what I'm saying? Like they making it about him solely, but no, it's deeper than that. This could be the start of that low period for our Steelers. Because one thing that I actually agree with about Ryan Clark has some harsh things to say, man, but he was kind of right in the sense of the Steelers ain't really they didn't aggressively try to approach a succession plan for Roethlisberger. They didn't. Now you heard me and you heard Kenyon and Tony have said, we've been saying, man, they ain't drafting no quarterback this year. Nope. That don't necessarily mean that we didn't want them to. We just were speaking from what we think the organization would do. And I have to admit, I actually kind of agree with Ryan Clark that they didn't really handle this situation great. Because at this moment, you know who succeeds Ben Roethlisberger? Mason Rudolph is first in line because he signed a 2-year deal. They was able to get him to extend. You know how you do that? You tell him, hey, Mason Rudolph, Ben's retiring and we want you to be the starter next year and give it a try. And if it works out, we'll sign you long term. That's what happened behind the scenes. Because Mason Rudolph has zero incentive to extend when he did. If he doesn't believe that he's going to start next season and audition. So Mason Rudolph is the succession plan. Then you bring in Dwayne Haskins to see what we got in him, which cool. Didn't cost you anything to do. Didn't cost you nothing to do that. I'm cool with that. But now you got fan base. Most of the fan base is kind of like, what do we do? Because guess what? Some of us are looking at this season already and like, yo, we might have to bench him. So we bench him. Look who's behind him. So I kind of agree with Ryan Clark on that front. Like, yeah, they didn't. Now listen, we had other needs, yes, but sometimes you got to make the decision, man, to Jordan Love the situation, right? Or Aaron Rodgers the situation when they drafted him. Or Jimmy Garoppolo the situation. Now, again, I'm not getting into the semantics of who was available. I'm just saying. I'm definitely glad we got Minkah, because now, people trying to spin that and say, because even Ryan Clark said, you could have used that pick. No. Then those are semantics. I do not disagree with the getting Minkah when you did, how you got him. I'm cool with that. But in theory, this is where we at, man, and it's not looking good right now. So now let me get to Ben. I said I was gonna be quick, didn't I? But don't worry, I'm plenty of time to give you guys the call. Jordan Miz said Mason Rudolph leads us to a Super Bowl win. Watch what I say. Listen, and I told y'all, I'm fair when it comes to Mason Rudolph. Y'all can definitely blame me on that. Blame that on me and say, yeah, you have been. You know, I say when he does good, I say when he doesn't do good. After seeing him play, you know, before most recently playing, you know, the last game of last season, I was like, I don't know, man. He don't show me. I don't think he's that. Then the way he played in that Cleveland game, I was like, hey, man, you know, okay, it might be a stopgap. But here's the thing. It pains me to say this, man. And I know some of you guys are going to disagree. And if y'all know me, and you've been following me as long as you have, you know I don't say things out of impulse. I don't react off of one game. I'm not going to say something just to say it or ride the wave or jump on a narrative. If I'm saying something, I've thoroughly thought it out, and it's probably some evidence that I've seen for a while before I come to the conclusion. Pains me to say this. Ben is done, man. Shout outs to TJ Patterson. Appreciate the subscribe, man. Thank you for that. Welcome to the home team. You're home. He's done. He's done. Let me lay it out for you guys as to why I say that. Can we still win with Ben Roethlisberger? Sure. Yeah. If we get the run game off the ground and, you know, even if we ain't running it crazy, let's say we average 90 yards a game, 100 yards a game. Right? Nothing crazy. Like we ain't in the tops of the league, but we run it respectably. Respectfully. We can run it where it's I'm twisting my words. Respectable. That's what I'm trying to say. If we can run the ball respectably, we can still win with Ben. Ben can make plays still. Ben can make throws still. If he's only attempting 24 passes, maybe 30 sometimes. What if it's a game he only got to pass like 21 times? Oh, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take what? Ben Roethlisberger's brain and just his just him being him, his knowledge of the game and his leader, just being the guy who's been there, done that. I'll take it. If you're telling me that on the high end, he's taking 30 attempts. But let me tell you, if the offense continues to operate the way it did, and it has in these last few games, even in that Buffalo game, Ben Roethlisberger can't do that anymore, folks. I know every time I keep saying, if he passes more than 40 times, and I mean that. Do y'all realize that Ben threw the ball 58 times Sunday? Now, I know people go say, yeah, but we was down. I know, I get it. But the fact that he had to throw it 58 times. And here's the problem. It's not that I doubt Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterback that we know. But this is what I doubt. He's no longer Big Ben. He's just Ben Roethlisberger. Let me explain. Look at how he moves out there. I talked about that play action where he held the ball for like 7 seconds. Felt like 8. You throw that away. But he doesn't. Because I think now he's pressing. He's trying to do too much. Because he's the leader, right? But he's not capable of doing it. He's not Big Ben. That ain't a knock on him. The man is 39 years old, been battered. That man body has been through it, bro. He's 18th year in the league. Dog, this is not me throwing him in the trash like some of y'all want to do. This is me acknowledging, yeah, he's reached the end. He's not Tom Brady. That can still be playing at 44 regardless of his circumstance. Because people are going to say that, well, look what type of... Regardless of that. I'm not talking about them, comparing them as players. I'm just saying he's probably not going to be one of those guys that's still around at 44. He just can't. Ben doesn't play like Brady plays. They're different. We fell in love with Ben because he played Ben ball. Ben being Ben. You know that statement? He don't got it no more. And that ain't his fault. You understand what I'm saying? Physically, he's unable to do it. It's caught up, man. And the hits that he's taking while the offensive line is developing, dog. I'm telling you, Ben can't keep taking them shots, bro. I'm serious when I say this. It's time. But like I said, if we turn it around and we starting to run the ball, yeah, we can still win with him. So I'm not saying, oh, there's guaranteed a better option behind him. I'm just saying, as a fan, we have to face the facts. Our quarterback has come and gone. Now it's more if Ben can. Remember, there was a time when you would say, remember this, look at yourselves in the mirror and ask yourself this question. Do you remember when you used to say, yo, I know Ben can do that? You ain't saying that today. It's more like if. And you know what you call that? Age and attrition. It's time. It's time. Before this season started, I said, look, man, if he plays well, then maybe I'm cool with him coming back. No. It's time. For the betterment of himself and for the ushering in a new regime, man, in Pittsburgh. We gotta build that. We gotta start rebuilding it now, man. It's at this point you just can't keep hanging on to Ben. It's time. It's time. He's done. He's done. He's not gonna. He can't be Super Ben Roethlisberger anymore. He just can't. You can see it, guys. You can see it. And like I said, I'm not kicking him out down the door and down the stairs. I'm just stating what I'm seeing. He's just not. And I see what you're saying, Shadow Slayer. But listen, man, y'all. To say he just needs an O-line, I get it. I get what you're saying, bro. But don't just look at this year. We've seen this. We've seen the accumulation of this. We're here now. That's all it is. We're here now. We're here now. It just is what it is. But like I said, man, I don't know. Like I said, I hate that I'm saying that because y'all know how I feel about Roethlisberger. But when it's time, man. And that's just how I feel. All right, man, let's open it up to calls, man. I would expect it to have been more of them, but let's do it. First up, we have, let me get my headphones. 1 second. We have area code 313. We're going to grab him first. And again, for those of you who are not watching this on a screen, if you would like to call and voice your opinion, feel free to do so. The phone number to reach us is 619-924-0818. Y'all know the routine, man. Keep it quick, but be precise. Get your points in, and we move on to the next one. So first up, area code 313. What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? How you doing, buddy?
Good. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. This is Daryl Duke calling you from Detroit. And just to let you know, looking at everything, watching everything what you're saying, I agree. And by me watching the Steelers from the 70s all the way up to the present time, it's almost they starting to repeat what they did back then. They're doing it now. We hang on to players for too long. Ben has done his due. I appreciate him. He did. He went to 3 Super Bowls. He got 2 titles. He's Hall of Famer. But you have to put the process in for the next young guy to come in.
Yeah.
I agree about the offensive line. They're not bad. But the difference is they're not playing winning football. Mm-hmm. And that comes with experience. And the experience is what they took off the team. I understand Pouncey and all them retiring, but you did need that veteran to help form that cohesiveness. But Zach Banner was hurt from the beginning. He come off of ACL. By him being on an ACL, your offensive line having a problem to jail, even with the regular starters. You got to remember, last year, they all missed, with the pandemic, that they had no training camp. So these guys, this is their first year together. So we can't even think about looking at them until they get probably to mid-season for cohesiveness. This one, I think the running game can come around, but I think the Steelers should have went after a veteran offensive lineman. I would have loved if they got the boy from Williams from the Washington Redskins, who's playing with San Francisco. He looked good Monday night. Oh, my God. I knew it, and I said this 3 years ago or 4 years ago when we lost Mike Munchak. I knew he built guys into the linemen. But we used to get the guys from the Power 5 schools like Pouncey. We got the Cosgrove and guys like that. They came in basically a little more NFL ready. They didn't have to sit on the practice squad and get built up. That's what Al Villanueva got did like that. And when you're looking at this is what you run into. It's too much inexperience that don't have that professional pedigree that to help the line gel what you're looking. This is the problem that you're looking at for these first 3 games. And when our defense gets hurt, that's when it shows up real big. So you guys have a blessed one. I appreciate you, man. That's all I had to say. Y'all be good, SteelerNation.
Man, Daryl Dukes, man, great call. And I'm going to give you credit. I'm going to give you your flowers, man, where you can hear them, smell them, or whatever you want to call it. You said it. You said it. You sure enough said, listen, man, losing Munchak is going to be a serious problem. And what did I say? Nah, we should be good. His understudy is still there. And Sean Surratt didn't show up last season. Get rid of him. We bring in Clem. And listen, I like Clem. You do see, I know some of you guys might disagree with this, but you could kind of see where Clem might be trying to infuse the nasty, if you will. It just is not quite clicking yet. So I'm not going to be one of those people that say right now, oh, Clem didn't get it done either. Get rid of him. Nah, man. What you going to keep changing coaches every year? But my man Daryl said it. And I didn't think it would have as much of an impact because his understudy was there. But, whether it's true or not, it sure looks like it's true, right? But I think what you said, too, man, about the veterans and the things like that, certain guys not being there anymore is definitely a key component. I mean, even when you think back to Ramon Foster, remember when we said, Ramon was lumbering around, he couldn't move as much. I'd like to have Ramon right now just being able to plug the hole. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to give these young guys time to grow. And like you said, I personally, after watching them again, and I might have a different opinion when I can really hone in on the 22, but they're not as bad as the narrative would suggest. Not as bad. It's just a few tweaks here and there, and I think they could be at least decent. But appreciate it, man. Next up, area code 803. That is our good buddy, Mr. Winningham. How you doing tonight, sir?
Pretty good. How's everybody? How you doing?
Good.
Can you hear me? Okay, good. I have to agree with that. The offensive line, as you see it, has an aggressive, nasty nature. You can see that right now. What they don't have right now is the discipline. You know, Najee Harris might have had his best game, did have his best game. You take out the penalties, and you're looking at his best run totals. But, you know, even with all the catches that he made and the catches that he missed was probably due to fatigue. That's where we need a viable running back. I'm sorry, Benny Snell is almost getting the game, and it looks like Benny Snail. Not Snell, he looks like a snail. He's too slow. We need somebody who can spell Najee Harris and bring, you know, some explosion. Right now, Najee Harris is probably leading the NFL in time on the field. Very seldom we've seen Najee Harris come off that field this season. I agree with what you said. We need to script the best plays that you see Najee Harris and the offense makes. When teams like Cincinnati, or last night we watched the game with Philadelphia, I have no idea why they only ran the ball twice. But if a team like Dallas is willing to all-out blitz you, we need to run more screens. Develop those screen passes with the Juju and Najee Harris to make an aggressive team who wants to blitz us pay for it. And, you know, like you say, we have a lot of injuries coming into this last game. And you can almost really not blame the guys, but at the same time, watching them Sunday, I'm not going to say they quit, but I almost felt like they were almost unrecognizable. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great and blessed week.
Man, thank you for the call, like always. And yeah, man, just to add on what you said, you know, what you were commenting to kind of what we said, we both had the same point there. I'm not an NFL coach, man. You know, if somebody gave me the keys out there, there's no way I could say I would go do a better job. But let's go with the most effective plays, man. Like, it makes me, I have so much envy when I watch other teams. And listen, it's hard to compare a team to a team, right? Everything's different. But some of the basic stuff that I see other teams do, like you spoke on screens. Man, when I see other teams run those delayed tight end screens, why don't we ever do that? I mean, really. Especially right now with a dude like Freiermuth, right? Where unlike Ebron, Freiermuth is kind of made his hay even in college. You know, people kind of knew that he could block, right? So maybe you can catch the defense off guard when he's out there because they might be thinking, they probably going to run. Like, set it up. Mix him and Ebron in, and you know, you done pass when Ebron is in, and now you got the defensive coordinator thinking he got a beat on us. Bring Freiermuth in and run one of them delayed tight end screens. You know, just little stuff like that. I don't know. Have we seen a screen in Najee so far this season? I mean, and again, you know, you don't want to keep running screens over and over and over because what we are running, it seems like we're running a lot of the wide receiver screens, and they're picking up some yards here and there. But we kept hearing that Canada wanted to take advantage of matchups, man. We kept hearing that. I need to see it. I really need to see it. But that's all I got. And really quick, man, let me interrupt myself. Round of applause to Rel Facts, man. I really appreciate the donation there, sir. Rel says, I can say Ben's play has been downright terrible. Anybody remember Peyton Manning 2015? Yes, sir, sure do. That was the definition of finished. It's Ben's last year, but still we can win with him as of right now. Yeah, I echo that. I never said that we can't win with Ben. I mean, I know what some people are saying, even the media is saying, you know, he's done and they're not going to go anywhere. Listen, all it takes, I think, even with a done Ben this season, is if we can get the run game to finally be more effective. That's going to take pressure off of Ben. Ben Roethlisberger, even at this state with a relatively decent run game, he can win you some games just off of him being a veteran. But this definitely needs to be his last season. Let's not get that twisted. Definitely needs to be the final season. Next up, area code 609. What you got for us?
SimFootball. What's going on, SimFBallCritic?
Good. What's going on, man?
Oh man. Yeah. About the Steelers. Offensively, man. I don't know how we're going to match up against Packers defense, because Packers defense got some dogs on the opposing side. If Ben keep on throwing the ball like more than 40 times, like you mentioned last week, we're going to lose the game. Plain and simple. We need to feature flying moves more. We need to, like you said, throw more screens to the running back and tight end and stuff. Get the defense fooled and stuff. That way they won't, have us, have our predictable offense and stuff. And, we're still a relatively young team and stuff, but, man, I don't know, man. I just feel like there's dark days ahead of us, man. But us Steelers fans are spoiled. You know what I mean? We never had a losing season in over almost 2 decades. You know what I mean? And it's just not looking good for us right now and stuff. But I think, honestly, after Big Ben's
we have Mike Tomlin.
After Ben's second interception, I think he should have been benched, because sorry to cuss, but who the hell was he looking at? Who the hell was he trying to throw to, man? Oh man, I don't know, man. It's just hard right now. But what are your thoughts going into next week against Green Bay? And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, man. I'll give you my quick thoughts, and you guys probably just heard some audio there. I was pulling up Rich Eisen's piece on Ben Roethlisberger, and I don't know if you guys had seen that or heard it, but I might play it at the end of the show. It's about 3 minutes long, so I might play it at the end of the show. But yeah, man, I'll definitely get more into my thoughts as far as matching up against Green Bay, on the pregame show. But just, to at least give you a little something here. Believe it or not, at this very moment, I really hope that we got everybody back on defense. Because, bro, let me tell you, Aaron Rodgers can put that ball in a lot of places. He did get sacked a couple times, so we can get pressure. We gonna need it. We couldn't really get no real pressure, man, with Ingram by itself, essentially. So before I even digest, what I think we'll be able to match up against in terms of our offense on their defense, I'm starting with our defense. We better be at full strength. There's some opportunities, against their defense. It's just that what offense are we bringing to the table? And that's really what scares me. And really quick, man, let me just take a moment to address a couple chats here. Grit78, listen, like I said before, I disagree with anybody who feels like Najee Harris was a stupid pick. Even if the offensive line doesn't pan out, Najee Harris is a generational talent. He's going to be great. Mark my words. He's already showing his worth. Already. That dude is going to be a stud. One thing I did want to say about Najee, and I forgot to get into, there was a couple plays, though, that rookie mistakes. There was a couple plays, man, where he missed the hole. Like, there was one that, and I wish I could show it to y'all, that the hole opened up right in front of him, and he bounced it. So he's definitely, Of course, I'm not going to say he has bad vision. I mean, the boy was bad in college. I don't care what level you're on. That vision is just something you have. But he's going through his rookie lumps as well. And I'm sure even Tomlin said it. Tomlin even said, some of it is the offensive line. Some of it is the running back needing to see. So they're going to coach that up. Don't even worry about that. But I stand by that. I stand by that. That pick, I am not upset with that pick at all. So that's just your opinion. You can have that. And calling that man, you saying he's Trent Richardson 2.0, you need to stop. You need to stop. I mean, one man's opinion is one man's opinion, but come on, you're going too far now. Let's see. Next up is area code 909. What you got for us?
Yeah, how you doing, Sam?
Good. What's going on?
Good. I wanted to just point out a couple things that you talked about and just the Steelers overall. I think you talked about this probably a long time ago, a couple years ago, about Ben and just offensive coordinators. My opinion, honest opinion about Ben, I love him and everything to fight that, but I think it's difficult for any coordinator that's going to come in and try to change stuff with Ben as the quarterback still. I think because I don't know if they're intimidated by him. I think Haley probably did a little bit of changing. But all these other offensive coordinators that's coming in, it's not so much of we keep expecting something new, but it keeps seeming like it's the same thing, or they're taking from the last playbook they had to kind of make Ben comfortable in a certain sense when if they're a new offensive coordinator, to me, they're not implementing in their type of offense or putting their stamp on anything. Like Matt Canada, for instance, they were saying that he was supposed to come in with the new offense and do this and do that and do this and do that. I think you have broken down some of the stuff that he did in college and stuff like that. And I believe majority of that stuff the quarterback was under the center. Ben has a problem with Ben knowing that for a while, being up on the center. And I don't think he can get up on the center. My suggestion, I heard you say that, I ain't no NFL quarterback, I ain't no coach, and I think it's going back to the basics. When Ben first came in, that offense that we ran under Kit Wizard Hunt, it was very vanilla. But it got the job done. Yeah. We had a hell of a defense to keep the thing rolling. Our defense is the strongest point on our team. We have a hell of a punter to keep push people back deep to play along with the defense. But to me, the focus got to be going back. I coach high school ball, and like I said, we can go out. We used to go out there with all them damn plays and shit, but then get our ass whooped. And then we got to go back to the basics. Yeah. And it's the same thing with the NFL. Right. You can have all them plays, but it doesn't work. Like we got, and I know some of the people are like, well, we got Juju and we got all these. That's cool and everything, but that's not working. We need something to work. Our defense is our scrim. We need to go back to the basics. John Elway, I always say this all the time. John Elway, Peyton Manning, they last ride that they went on. They wasn't the captain. Well, you could say they was the captain because they was the old man on the ship, but they wasn't the one that's running the ship. They had their running game and they leaned on their defense and you made plays here and there. You ain't had to be the savior. You ain't had to be the hero. Ben got a snap count to where I think it's been going back for years to when he threw a certain amount of passes, we lose the damn game. And to me, it's like, I don't understand how y'all know if he throws a certain amount, we're going to lose the game. In my head, it's like, don't let him throw as much because we're going to lose the damn game. Stop letting him throwing. And I understand we're in that situation right now. He got to because we can't run the ball. But going back to the basics, like I said, I think they need to go back to the basics on offense. Defense, when everybody get healthy, we know we can rock and roll. Hopefully Stephon Tuitt can be able to make it in this year. I don't know what's going on with his situation. And then last thing I want to bring up was Colin Cowherd. I'm not a big fan of his. I feel like he always bashing the Steelers.
That dude crazy.
But he got his own opinion. He has a right for his own opinion. But today I was listening to him today, and he was bringing up the point of that how the Steelers pacified Ben, unlike the Patriots, unlike Green Bay. And I forget he was using a specific word. If you watch the video today, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm kind of like skipping over what he's saying. But he was pretty much saying that they had, when Ben cried, when we got, I don't know if it was Landry Jones or was it Mason Rudolph. I don't know. He got upset that we had drafted the quarterback.
It was Mason.
And they said, he pointed out, it was Mason?
Yeah. Because we drafted him in the third round that year.
Yeah, they was pointing out facts to where the year we drafted Mason, Ben had probably his best year as a quarterback. The year Tom Brady got drafted with Garoppolo, he won a Super Bowl and he had a good year as well too. The year the Green Bay Packers just drafted Jordan Love, he also just won a Super Bowl MVP and could have possibly won the Super Bowl, but that didn't happen. But he had a good year. And the thing is, he was bringing up is the pressure. Ben haven't had pressure on him since Mason Rudolph, and once he see Mason Rudolph was a threat, it's not as much. Like I said, I love Ben. I hope he can, I don't know, just push in all the chips and say, hey, whatever y'all want to do, that's just I hope he'll do that, but I don't think that's going to happen. But so that way we can try to get this thing and try to ride the ship and let him, hopefully like Jerome, that's a long wish, but at the same time, something so he's not going out like, I think somebody, I don't know if it was on your show or somebody else's show, riding off like Dan Marino did in his last game, getting the shit beat out of him 77-6 or whatever the hell he got beat up or whatnot like that. But that's it. Thank you for the call and have a good night, man.
Man, appreciate the call. Gotta say this though, y'all gotta keep them shorter. We got 5 calls left in the queue, man. Y'all, I know we getting into the groove of Tuesday and allowing the calls to be mostly the show, but we gotta shorten them because I'm expecting now on Tuesdays we're gonna have a bunch of calls, so I want to make sure I'm not having to cut anybody's call short. And when they're long, I can't remember all of everything that was said, so I can't really comment. But I do remember you saying we got to keep it to the basics, and I agree with that. We gotta. And I do think there's some truth to, what Ike Taylor says, what Ryan Clark says, that Ben kind of does with his own thing. I do believe that there's truth there, so we'll see again. Matt Canada said coming into the season, I'm going to call the plays that Ben Roethlisberger is comfortable with. Come on, man, read between those lines. But also, round of applause to Luis, man, got a donation, and I hope this is all comedy. But if it's not, please let me know, because if the first part is true, then I want to recognize that. But round of applause. Luis says, in the hospital right now due to chest pain, so they're keeping me under observation for the night. Doc asked me how long this started. I said, watching the last 2 games of the Steelers. So I think he's being funny all the way, but if you are actually in the hospital and you did just add some comedy to it, let us know so we can give you your proper get well soons. But I think he's just joking. That is hilarious, man. Yeah, they could drive you to drink, boy, I swear. But all right, man, let's move on to the next call, man. Area code 443. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim. This is CJ from Annapolis, Maryland.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
I got 2 things. Ain't too much. How you doing? I think I had called you like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you called last week. I remember.
Yeah, so 2 things. AB, he warned us. Before AB had that big fallout in Pittsburgh, he told us. He said, Ben can't throw the ball. He told us. And another thing, to be honest, I like to see Mason Rudolph with this offense. With Najee Harris and Pat Frymuth or whatever, just to see the dynamic, because he can stretch the field. And I think that would keep defenses honest. So, for some reason, tell me like this offense, it could suit him very well. They can go on the pistol. They can get creative. This offense looks too much like Ben, and I'm just curious to see when they're gonna make that move. But that was 2 things I just wanted to say. I appreciate the call.
No problem, man. We appreciate the call. And interesting. To push the ball down the field, I would prefer to see Mason Rudolph if there were a change. But then to add some creativity, I think I would want to see Dwayne Haskins. Only reason why I say that, because I think with Dwayne Haskins, we'll see more bootleg, sprint outs, maybe some more play action. But Haskins hasn't really shown us that his accuracy is there and the deep ball is there. So it's almost a lose-lose situation. I think Mason Rudolph can move obviously better than Ben, but Mason Rudolph is kind of that prototypical guy. So the advantage that you get is he would push it down the field, and I think he would work the middle of the field, which Ben's not doing. I don't know what's going on with that. But that's an interesting conversation, man. So let's just for one moment assume, I don't think this happens, but let's assume Ben Roethlisberger plays bad enough to where he gets benched, right? And then we're going to have to really discuss which guy comes in and who we prefer to see. Honestly, it probably would be Dwayne Haskins, because at the end of the day, you got Mason Rudolph signed. Maybe you give Haskins the shot just to see what you got. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one, to be honest. I really don't. But yeah, there was another donation here, man. Shout outs to Eric Rivera. Oh. Yeah, he just said the same thing I said. Yeah, my thoughts on him not working the middle of the field, I don't understand why he's not doing it. You know, again, if the NFL gets their act together and finally gives me the all-22, then maybe I can see maybe there's coverage there. I don't know, but it just seems like all these other teams are able to do stuff that we're not doing. So it kind of makes you think it's what Ben is preferring to do. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's give a round of applause and an uplifting encouragement to Luis, man. Luis said he is actually in the hospital. He just wanted to make light of the situation. So round of applause, man, to a speedy recovery, brother. And for all of you out there that may be, spiritual, let's say a nice prayer, man, for Luis. Hopefully he's okay. Guys, I got 5 more calls in the queue. Y'all got to keep it quick, man. Honestly, in and out. These last 5, and I hate for you guys to be the brunt of it, but we got to be like rapid fire. All right, only because it's a lot of y'all, so we can't. Each call can't be 2 minutes. You know what I mean? All right, let's get to it. Area code 718. What you got for us?
What's up, sir? This is Jack Bauer in the chat room.
Oh, yes, sir. What's going on, Jack?
Ain't nothing. I'm going to call and give a little props to the coordinator and the offensive line coach. Losing Munchak was big.
Yeah.
Granted. But people got to remember we had first-round pick Pouncey, first-round pick Castro, second-round pick Gilbert, who's underrated, and Villanueva. These guys were Pro Bowlers and in their primes. Now we got a bunch of third, fourth round picks, first, second year. Big talent difference.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. And Canada, I think he's doing what he can with Ben. Ben is killing us. I thought it was a bad contract when they extended him a few years back, and it's coming to fruition. But I kind of want to see Haskins and what Rudolph can do. If we get to 1-4, 2-6, something like that, it's time to pull a plug. And I know you got to run, so I'm going to let you go on that note, brother. Try to hit you next week.
Man, appreciate the call, Jack. Man, it's always cool, man, when some of you guys call in for the first time. So good to talk to you, man. I see you representing that 718. He's up there in New York. You are absolutely right, man. As a matter of fact, let me be quick, too. If I'm going to tell y'all to be quick, let me be quick. Watching the game with Leonard, my father-in-law Leonard, and he was saying, talking about the O-line and this and that, and he was saying, oh, man, we got first rounders. I said, no, we don't. We don't. There's not one first-round offensive lineman on that line. And I don't think he realized. And when he realized it, he was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I was like, look, Kendrick Green, man, third round. These dudes, even Dotson, third round. You know what I'm saying? Chooks, later round. Think he was third that year. Trey Essence, not Trey Essence. I wish we had Trey Essence. Trey Turner, I think he was a higher round guy, but I mean, he's an older veteran. And then Dan Moore, what was he, 4th round? So, yeah, that just speaks for itself right there. All right, let's grab the next one, man. We got a bunch of calls, 6 calls in the queue. I'm trying. I'm trying. Let me just say this. I'm probably only going to hang in here for another 10 minutes, man. So we got to get to him and get in and get out. 937. What you got for us?
What up, man? What up?
What's going on, brother?
It's Marlon. I'm from Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Man,
what's up?
With the Steelers to where they have to just tell us the truth as fans, man. I feel like we're in a rebuild mode, and it's obvious because you have to look at the lack of action as far as addressing the offensive line. They stink. They have stunk, and they continue to stink, and nothing's being done. But we picking up Taco Charltons and all these cats. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible. This is even happening. Like, without addressing the offensive line, you're basically saying, hey, this is what we're going to stick with, and this is what it is. To me, that sounds like a rebuilding team.
Definitely appreciate the call, man. Like always, I love everybody's opinions. And this is what makes it a good show, man, that we can all have our opinions and discuss them. I'll say this real quick. And you put it in the chat, if I missed it. When you said they didn't address the offensive line, do you mean like at this point, like trying to bring in somebody to help us now, or you just mean in general? Because the only reason why I asked is I had this conversation with someone else saying that the offensive line was bad last year and they knew it and they didn't do anything about it. Well, can't really say they didn't. They did draft 2 offensive linemen. They brought in a veteran in Trey Turner. Now, is it the guys that you would have preferred them to get? Maybe not, but it's understandable why they went with Najee and why they went with Freiermuth based on who was on the board, and I get it, right? And then at this point during the season, who else do we bring in? I don't know who else is out there, honestly. Now, maybe you try to shake it up a little bit. I'm not opposed to that, but who is the answer? And Taco was really just a result of the injuries. That's all that was, so I wouldn't read too much into that, but I appreciate your call, man. Definitely appreciate it, Marlon. Next up, 334, what you got for us?
What's up, Justin? What's up, Sam? What's up?
What's going on, man?
I got a question to ask you. What do you think about Deshaun Watson coming to this team and just fulfill the dream for all of us? Because I actually think that is the key and can be the core of changing this young team around and being competitive with everybody else. Because sometimes I just sit and I watch these new young offensive coordinators come in, like Mike Shanahan over there at 49, watching them running back, run circles. I mean, they be doing so much with those RPOs that I would like to see that take place in Pittsburgh. It's just like we expected so much out of them, and we're not going to get that out of them, And I'm not going to say much because these are young guys, and we got to go through our growing pains and just look and hope for upcoming young players. But give me your take on Deshaun Watson coming to the team. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Man, thank you for the call, and I'll be extremely brief with this one. Nah, not right now. Now, I love Deshaun Watson. I love him as a player, but right now, we can't even entertain that. We just can't. It's too much circling around him. We don't know what's going on. I would rather not have our team jump into that one. But if circumstances were different, I'd take him in a heartbeat. But given the situation, nah. Hate to say that, but we just can't. We can't afford to do that. Shout outs to Brent Fox, man. Another donation round of applause. My man Brent says, just wanted to thank you in capital letters, Sim, for giving us a platform to express ourselves since 2017. Hey, man, I appreciate that. But as much as you guys thank me, I thank y'all. Platform does nothing without those who support the platform. So extra salute to all of you guys, man, and gals. Appreciate that. Moving along, area 330, what you got for us?
Oh, sir.
What's going on?
Yeah, man, I had the
the pleasure of being at that debacle this Sunday. And I was on 93.7 The Fan today. And I brought up something. At first, these dudes was laughing at me at first. And then, what did you know? A lot of the rest of the show, they kept bringing up this topic in the what ifs. And what I said was, the way this is playing out to me, I don't think Ben going to finish this year out. So they probably going to give Mason Rudolph a chance. If he stink it up, they going to end up giving half of the chance. But what I'm trying to say is, I really think this is setting up for us to get Aaron Rodgers next year. I think he's going to end up coming to Pittsburgh. Because they'll get that line together. And you know the guys on the show, they were saying, well, do you think he would actually come there with the line being like that? And I told them, no, I got faith. They'll get this line together. I'm not worried about that. Even if it take the off season, they'll get this line together. But I just think a lot of things going to fall into place, and they ain't going to have no choice because there really ain't no great quarterbacks coming out of college this year. And I just think they might have a shot at getting this dude, man. That's all I wanted to call and say, man. Appreciate you taking the call.
Man, no problem. I appreciate that call. And you know what? You ain't the first. I've seen that. Let me address it really quick. It is a possibility, like one of the other callers said, if we end up 1-4 or 2-6 or something like that, you might see Ben benched. I think it's going to take a lot for it to happen, but it could happen. And then we'll see Mason and we'll see Haskins or one of those dudes. And the Aaron Rodgers thing is, here's the only thing. Let's assume Kevin Colbert is the GM. Does Kevin Colbert grab Rodgers short term, because again, Rodgers is getting older too? Or do they try to go to find a guy and say they're going to develop that guy? That would be my only hesitation. Listen, even on Aaron Rodgers next season, whatever his age is, I would take him in Pittsburgh. You daggone right. The quarterback like that can make good of situations that ain't good. If ain't enough blocking, he'll make some ridiculous throw. It's hard for me to imagine that it happens because I don't know what the organization would be thinking in terms of him long term. You know what I'm saying? That's my only reservation. But I'm not opposed to it. Excuse me. I'm just not sure what would happen. That's all. So, all right, guys, we got 3 more calls. We're going to end with area code 804. So if anybody's listening, that's going to be the last call. And I appreciate you guys picking up the pace. So let's get to the next one. Area code 412. What you got for us?
Hey, can you hear me, Sim?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Hey, Sim, this is Smitty from Pittsburgh. I actually subtweeted you saying I was at the game. I was at the last 2 games with the Raiders and the Bengals. And, oh, man, it's the same thing every week. Single high, safety. No team respects Ben's arm at all. Sometimes I think the Bengals playing zero coverage because they weren't concerned with Ben. And Ben's getting our receivers killed. But I called this last time I call in because I work a lot, so I don't get to call in. But I said Canada's going to run the offense that Ben is comfortable with. We're not going to see too many things different, just a little bit of different sprinkles here and there. But it's time that Ben got hit in the middle of the field, and he's not taking advantage, and he's getting our wide receivers killed with these inaccurate passes. So, honestly, it's to the point where I cannot blame Canada. And so I was asking for Mason to come in the game because at least Mason can press the ball downfield, and he's a little bit more mobile for the rollouts and everything else. And also, on the Najee tip, if people complain about Najee, what offensive lineman would you take? Leatherwood? We've seen how he played and how he got pulled, and all offensive line taken after him was also injured. But like I said, I was at the 2 games, and I seen it up close and personal. I was sitting up high where I could see the whole field. Teams are just not respecting Ben's deep ball ability. But I know you got more calls. Thank you. God bless. I'm going to try to call in a lot more.
Man, thank you, Smitty. And really quick before I get to you, Smitty, before I forget, let me comment. Thank you, Marlon, for clarifying what you're saying, and I agree with you. We rebuilding. You're right. They clearly didn't do enough to protect the 39-year-old quarterback, so thanks for clarifying that. But yeah, Smitty, that was you. I knew it was you, and I think somebody else hit me up too, said they were at the game, but I definitely remember you saying how they don't respect his arm. And it's clear, man. It's crazy. Look at how, in these last 3 games, look at how much these dudes just up in the box. Like they daring you to run. They're going to take the run from you, and they willing to just go single high and play man on the outside when they have to. And what's happening? Because it's single high, Ben's taking all these shots one-on-one, and nobody's respecting it. Now, we could have made him respect it had he connected to Washington. Washington was wide open. Ben, you can't miss that one. But I think what Smitty just said there is exactly what's happening. Beat us with your arm, Ben Roethlisberger. You don't scare us no more. And we're going to have to make them fear him some kind of way. But appreciate the call. All right, next up, 951. What you got for us? Oh, hold on.
Hey,
1 second.
Up, man?
Hold on.
Okay.
All right, there you go. My headset came off. My bad. What you got for us?
No problem, man. This is Kevin out of Temecula, California, bro. So my comment is, I'm watching the games, and like other callers say, ain't no one expecting Big Ben. So the offensive line is not obviously built to protect Big Ben because he's a stationary statue.
Mm-hmm.
So why are fans so against bringing someone in, for example, like a Cam Newton? Look, I watched the highlights and the tape from the Patriots. They built the offense around Cam Newton. We got more weapons, I think, than New England. How come fans are against bringing Cam Newton in and see what he can do to try to resurrect this season? That's all I got.
Hey, man, I appreciate the call. I'm out there in California. You out there with Kenyon. Kenyon's in L.A., so I love that the audience is growing, if you will, and I love all the new callers, man. That's why, in a way, I'm glad that Tuesday has turned into that, even though we don't have film. But I get to talk to you guys, man, so thanks for calling first and foremost. People are saying that, and I know some people are saying, no, they don't want Cam, and I'm going to say something about us Steelers fans really quick. At this stage, right, I think we all agree that we don't have the franchise quarterback. He's not behind Ben, so we believe, right, that Rudolph or Haskins is going to be the franchise guy. And if we know that, and we know we still looking for a franchise guy, what is it going to hurt to try to salvage? I get it. Now, no, listen, I'm not advocating for Cam, but I'm advocating the theory of what 951 just said. What's it gonna hurt? I mean, if we got Ben plays one more game like where he's just not able to be productive, what's it gonna hurt if you don't think you got a franchise guy anyway and you just trying to see what you can do for the season? Again, we could argue whether Cam is still good, yay or nay. I'm not even getting into that. But I don't oppose the idea of at least trying something if a Ben Roethlisberger-led offense isn't working and you don't have the franchise guy on staff anyway. So it's not like you're committing to this whoever you bring in long term. I'm just saying. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But whatever. It would be cool, honestly, if we're not going to be a good team. And listen, I'm not throwing us in the trash here. But if we're not going to be a good team, I'm actually going to enjoy watching the process. I'm going to enjoy it. So last call of the night, man. Area code 804. That's from my hometown, I believe. That looks like a Richmond number, or at least surrounding areas. 804, what you got for us?
What up, man? You got it right, Richmond, Virginia. I just wanted to come in here and address just people that were talking about how we should just go ahead and get in rebuild mode and just trash the rest of the season. I just think that the offensive line is, that's not necessarily play calling, but the plays that are being ran on the field needs to change, and we need to be able to build as the season goes on, because we're not one of those teams that are just in it just to throw away the season and try to get a high draft pick. No, we're one of those teams that's in it to try to make a deep playoff run. But everything starts with the offensive line. Then Roethlisberger has his own issues, and as a leader, he takes full responsibility over how he plays, and when things not going the way they're supposed to, and he takes responsibility for them. But it all starts with the offensive line. And again, we're also one of these teams where we have to all be on the same page. Everybody has to be on the same page in order for things to work. And when everybody's not on the same page, it won't work. And we saw that from the past 2 games now. But that's all I really want to come in here. Thank you for letting me come in here, man.
Man, thank you for calling. And you already know 804 in the building, man. That's my hometown folks, Cap City, Richmond, VA, baby. Always repping that. Of course, I live in Pennsylvania, been here a long time, but home is home. So salutes to the Cap City right there. And yeah, thank you for my Richmond brethren coming in and talking some sense there. We ain't no give up type team, man. We should have seen that when we traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick when Ben Roethlisberger went down for the season. So y'all already know we ain't got no cave, no tuck tail type of mentality. What y'all keep hearing that they say Tomlin always say, don't blink, right? I love that. I cannot stand tucking and running. I hate that. I can't stand tanking. Y'all know I'm a Sixers fan. I can't stand the process, none of that. Because let me tell you something. Has the process worked for us? Speaking of the Sixers, I'm going to get off of that because this ain't the basketball show, obviously. But no, do what you can. Forget all of that. Let's tank. And because then you mess around and tank. And what if that guy don't pan out? Like, nah, man. Nah. Try to do what you can do. It's just not, and like I said, shout outs to my Richmond brethren right there, man, for saying that. We do actually have one more call. I skipped this one. I didn't see it. 931 will be the last call. I think that's Box. So let's get to that really quick, man, and then we'll get out of here. Actually, I think I might want to play that Rich Eisen piece, but we'll see. 931, what you got for us?
Sam, what it do, bro? This your boy Roughhouse. What's going on?
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
Man, nothing, man. As I blocked through these city streets, man, I turned you on, saw you alive, man. So I had to tune in for the little bit that I caught, man. But I want to say this: season's still early. Especially the O line, man, it's still a work in process or in progress, I should say. A lot of young cats, man. We still got time. The one thing that I want to see more than anything, we know they're not the most talented group, but I want to see more effort. I want to see them finishing plays, finishing blocks, things like that, because effort can make up for a lack of talent in many cases, man. And then I got a question for you. One of the things that everybody talked about, coming into this season, we got Najee Harris, this and that, was the O-line, being better at run blocking. But I'm still noticing the O-line is always setting up in the 2-point stance. They're not setting up in the 3-point stance or the 4-point stance or whatever the case and firing off on the ball. Is that because the 3-point stance is just a telltale that they're going to run the ball?
That's a good question. Yeah.
So, I was kind of wondering that, man. But as always, man, y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. Hey, if you ain't subscribed to the homie Sim, I'm sorry, you slipping on your pimping. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, subscribe, like, share, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Support the homie because he's putting out that good work every week. You know what I'm saying? Multiple times a week, man. And once again, I am that boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV. Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all stop by the house. Just remember to wipe your feet and close the door. Hey, and the new undisputed, unified heavyweight champion, Alexander Usyk, defeats Anthony Joshua by unanimous decision, man. That's what's up. I'll holler at you, and I'm out. See you.
Yeah, Box. I know that was one crazy one for you to see there. Well, you might as well forget that whole three-headed, race to the top with the Wilder and Fury and Joshua. Wow. But yeah, man, fully agree with what Box was saying, man. No doubt about it. I think a lot of us had a lot of the same sentiment tonight, man. it's still early. It's still week 3, man. I mean, we'll see. It's just, you got to kind of prepare, though. Prepare your mind. So what I'm going to do really quick, guys, I am going to play the Rich Eisen piece. I think it's 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Y'all almost kept me. We almost been here 2 hours, y'all. We've had a show tonight. I'm going to play it, and we can pretty much end it on that. And let me make sure this is the right one. So let me listen to a piece.
From Pittsburgh. What is this about? Is this about Roethlisberger? Is that what we got right here? Let's just see what he's got to say about the Steelers being 1-2. Here's Mike Tomlin.
We're playing poorly. We don't desire to, but we are. And so more importantly is what's our course of action in terms of changing.
Hold on. I don't know if this is the right one.
Dramatically change.
Give me a second.
They're going to Green Bay.
It's the battle of teams that apparently don't care anymore. I mean, Mike Tomlin, he just basically gave you his only option, which is stay the course.
Yeah, this isn't the piece.
Somebody in that end zone.
Or just flip it up, man.
This isn't the one, guys. Let me see if I can find it, because I didn't hear it on YouTube. I heard it somewhere else. Hold on, give me a second. And if I can't find it, it's all good. But I want you guys to hear what he said. I think it's this one. Hold on.
Lots of and damn near pulled it all off. So, and there's an extra game this year, and you don't know, right?
All right, this is the one. Listen to this. Y'all can hear it, right? All right, listen to this.
Through 3 weeks. The worst ones, well, I mean, the worst ones are clearly the ones where there's no way out. There's just no way out. And I'm not talking about like 0-3 Giants, 0-3 Jets, 0-3 Jaguars. I'm not talking about that. Because with the 0-3 Jets and the 0-3 Jaguars, at least they got their young quarterbacks. And last year, the Giants were 1-7 and damn near pulled it all off. So, and there's an extra game this year, and you don't know, right? I'm honestly not talking about that stuff. And I'm not talking about the Bears, too, with Justin Fields. Because Justin Fields is clearly a very talented kid, no matter how long a day he just had. Now, the no way out situations are the ones like the Steelers, who say we're going with Big Ben another year. Big Ben wanted to come back. That the 11-game winning streak that they had to start the season, last remaining undefeated team of 2020. And then it all went south after that. And then you just got to sit there and figure, we'll just get the 11 wins season back. Those 11-0 Steelers, we're still that team. Not if the quarterback is suddenly poof.
Just to make sure, guys, you guys are hearing this, right?
That team. Not if the quarterback is suddenly poof. Like Kaiser Soze, gone. Big Ben is a Hall of Famer. He will have a bust in Canton. He will have a jacket to go with the gold that he has on his uniform for all these incredible years in Pittsburgh, PA. But after seeing the first 3 weeks of this season, and I very rarely use this word because it comes across as disrespectful, and that is not my mantra. It is not at all. It's not where it comes from. But sitting in this chair on this show, I have to shoot everybody straight. The word that leaps to mind, and this is a very difficult word to say, but I'll say it anyway, is washed. Washed. And it's not a want to. Clearly he wants to. It looks like a can't do. It does. And it's more than just that. It's everything together. It's a team game. We all know. It's a team game. I never thought I would see the day where I saw a Pittsburgh Steelers team with a running back with the history and the expectation level of this rookie running back in Najee Harris. And I said on our first down and 4 downs last week, they got to get his run game going. 14 times for 40 yards, 2.9 yards per carry. And that's with a 20-yard run. That was his long. I've never thought I would see the day 19 targets. You're targeting your running back 19 times. He had 14 catches for 102 yards. Now, Le'Veon Bell was a guy who would always come out of the backfield, and that was great too. But he would also run it down your throat. There's no balance. Ben Roethlisberger is pushing 40 with a bad pec, and he threw it 58 times. And this game, the most it was ever out of reach was 21-7. That was it. You're just down 2 scores. That's it. That's it. The Lions have come back almost from worse than that. And you're just targeting your running back. The worst one is, and this is the one where I'm like, what happened? What's going on? How does this happen? They're down 24-10, 3 minutes to go. It's 4th and 10. They're in the red zone. They've got to score a touchdown. Ben hikes it, flips it out on the spot to Najee Harris. It's not a screen pass. It wasn't a screen as expecting all these people. You're just dumping it off. They didn't even throw it in the end zone. That's one of the few times where I would have taken a fade pass. You can't dump it off.
Something.
What was that? Harris got surrounded, knocked out of bounds, game over. With 3 minutes to go, head for the exits. Drive home safely. Neck up, neck down. That quarterback doesn't survive in an NFL campaign. He's going to the hall. Ben, you're going to the hall. But I don't know what the way out is here. They're banged up front defensively.
The offensive line clearly isn't.
They won't commit to a run. 14 for 40. Najee Harris busted a 20-yard run.
So it's 13 for 20, really.
Yeah. Run game's non-existent, and your most go-to receiver is your running back. They were supposed to stretch the field. Last year, that was their problem, is that everything was from 10 yards and in from the line of scrimmage. Everybody knew they weren't going to go deep, so they just put everybody up front. They didn't have any running game. That's how they got bounced, despite being the lone remaining undefeated team, last remaining undefeated team in 2020. Now, the shrug emoji team in the AFC of 2021 is revealing itself to be, where do we go from here?
All right. That's all we need to hear. I wanted to play that as we end the show. Whether you agree or disagree with Rich Eisen, the theme of what he's saying is what I said. Last year, did I not come on this show every week, even during the 11-0, and say, I don't know, bruh. We can't win like this. We can't run the ball. Ben can't keep passing the ball 40-plus times. We're not going to be able to win like this. That defense bailed us out a lot last year, right? What happened? Teams started playing us the same way they've already played us in these first 3 games. And that's the facade, right? That's the mirage. Everybody keeps saying, people who don't want to accept that Ben is definitely not Ben anymore. They want to keep saying, well, it's only 3 games. No. What did I tell y'all when I started this segment? My research and my thoughts is not this past 3 games. It's what I've seen from Ben last season. Even some of it was starting to creep in the season before that he played well. You still started seeing, I don't know how much longer we got of this. And then last season, it really showed. And I know we said, he's coming off the elbow. All that is fair. All that is fair coming off of the elbow injury, but you got to even factor that in, folks. See, I factor all that in. And I still say, can we still win with him this season? Sure, we could. But not if we're unable to run the football. See, I have caveats in my thoughts. And when I say Ben is done, I'm talking about Big Ben. That guy is done. He can't do it anymore. Physically, he can't. He's not that guy. We're not going to win games on his arm only. There may be a few games here and there he gets hot, but he can't. He can't move out of the pocket the way he once could and avoid hits. He's stationary. He's taking too many hits. He can't. And that's why I think his time has come. And as a fan, that is not a knock on Ben Roethlisberger. But if you're holding on to him thinking that we're going to win a Super... What did I say? Last year, but even before the season started last year, I said, y'all think we're going to win the Super Bowl with Ben this year? That was before any games were played. Didn't I pose that question? And a lot of y'all was like, nah, I doubt it. Then this is what I'm talking about. This is all I'm talking about. The Ben Roethlisberger era has come to an end in terms of thinking he's going to be the one. And I hate to tell you, so far this season, only 3 weeks, this isn't the 2015 Denver Broncos defense that's going to carry Ben to the Super Bowl. So that's all I'm saying. This is his last season. It's starting to show. And like, whether you agree or disagree with what Rich Eisen was saying, I think the crux of the comment of what he said, the general idea of what he said, we all should be able to agree with that. We're not just talking about can we still win games or can he still play this season? No. I'm talking about the overall picture here. Big Ben, Ben Ball, that guy is gone. He's gone. Can't do it. He's gone. So that's all I'm saying. You know, and I think it's time for us to grasp that idea now. We need to start getting our mind set for that now. Because guess what could happen, folks? We could go on a win streak. Yeah. But you know what else could happen? We could continue to lose. We could be 1-4 next week. Oh, and by the way, that young boy, relatively young guy, had his knee all tore up, thought he would never play again. Oh, he's playing pretty well out there in Denver. We played him after Green Bay. Could lose that if our offense. I'm just saying. So as much as we want to say, yeah, but we could start winning. Yeah, but we could start losing again and again and again. And so then just saying, folks, if we're realists about the situation, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Listen, and like I told y'all, I'm not trying to dog Ben out. I've been a huge supporter of Ben, and I will always appreciate Ben for what he has done, but his time has come and gone. Regardless of how you all feel about the divisional quarterbacks, what is the common denominator with Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson? Young, youth, playing well, all of them. It's their time now. It just is what it is. I mean, hey, even New England got a young boy out there. You see what I'm saying? It's just, you know, and listen, like I said, Tom Brady is an anomaly. You can't use that as a measuring stick. And Aaron Rodgers still out there balling. But, you know, from a skill standpoint, Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger are not the same guy. So I'm just saying, man, sometimes you have to just see what's in front of you. And Jacob, fam, what you're proposing, trade Ben and picks for Watson. Oh, but you did say laugh out loud, but yeah, that'll never happen. But all right, man, I'll spend a few seconds in here with y'all. Literally, I got to go, man. I gave y'all 2 hours tonight, bro. Extra Black says losing won't be a bad thing. Next year, Steelers will finally draft in the top 5. Steelers need a new young quarterback and new linemen, at least 3 of them. Dang, y'all got us drafted in the top 5. See, coincidentally, I don't even think we're going to be that bad. That's the funny thing. I don't think we still going to be that bad. I mean, it's a chance of it, but I don't think so. Let's see. Eric says, what about the Steelers checking the status of DeCastro? And if so, bring him on a 1-year deal when he was healthy. Was a nice piece of the running game. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, and I'm sure, they'll be checking on him perhaps next year. Castro said he might retire, so who knows? Ghost Marley says, look like it's going to be Mike T's first losing season. Sorry to say. Yeah, well, and it's funny because you're not saying this, but I'm just saying the media and, and people that don't like Tomlin, it's like they're using that as a knock on him. Like the fact that you're saying this is his first losing season is crazy in itself. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's the NFL. I mean, it is quite amazing that we have not had a losing season. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, even with Mike Tomlin, it's pretty interesting that has not happened. Jacob said, "Yeah, I was joking," but yeah, I know you were. Oh, 100% Destiny. You're absolutely correct. And hello to you, by the way, if I didn't mention that earlier. But that's what I'm saying too. Like Tom Brady, I mean, even look at the squad he's playing with right now. You know what I mean? Being older. And so that's why I said it's different. Ben and him are different. It's just you're gonna have that guy. There's this guy, but you're 100% correct. He's playing with an outstanding team. You know what I'm saying? He got mad pieces around him. So, mad veterans. So, a lot of that comes into consideration. Solo says, stop saying Tom Brady is an anomaly. The last season Brady had with the Patriots was bad. Moved to the situation with 4 or 5 all-star wide receivers, 3 to 4 tight ends deep, 3 to 4 runners. Okay. Can I explain to you why I'm saying that? I'm just talking about a 44-year-old quarterback that's still winning. Everyone acknowledges that he's with a fantastic team, but so are we going to take away all of them Super Bowls he won? I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying when I say anomaly. I'm not talking about literally but ain't nobody else did that. And here comes the semantics. Yeah, but Brady and Belichick, blah, 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 blah. Stop being so literal, folks. I'm just saying. People are making that comparison. Maybe not y'all, but people are saying, look at Brady. He's old and I'm just saying there's only one dude that's doing that, regardless of who he's playing with and isn't playing with. I'm just making the point of Ben is not going to be that at this stage of his career. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Look, Ben Roethlisberger is my quarterback. I'm not trying to poop on him. I'm just stating the facts, bro. And Speed says, Tom is an anomaly, but he's not at the same time. He actually plays with IQ. Ben just chucks up the ball. Hey, man, they kill me when I say that. Tom Brady is one of these type of quarterbacks. Hey, people say you can say what you want about the teams he played on and yada, 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 the coach he had. Tom Brady is a cerebral quarterback, much like Peyton Manning was. Ben Roethlisberger, I'm not saying he's not cerebral, but let's be honest. Ben is more of a Brett Favre type of player. Still great. But we gotta stop when we gotta stop defending stuff that people should be able to see with their own eyes. You know what I mean? Ben just ain't Ben no more. That's just what it is. But y'all, for those, I don't know, man. Debbie. Hello, Miss Debbie. How you doing tonight? Deb says, Tom is playing a head game. Ben was and is not that guy. I don't have to say anything else. Miss Debbie has spoken. And you can't speak from your heart. See, Solo says, sorry, I just hate Brady. You see, you can't. This is all fun here. We family. You can't do that though. You know what I'm saying? We can't be so emotional as fans, dog. Sometimes it just is what it is. And 007, all that included, You can include all of that, and you can't take nothing away from Tom Brady. I'm sorry. Deflated balls, a game or two with tape of another team, playing with superstar. You still can't take nothing away from Tom Brady. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sam Kim says, calling TB12 is an anomaly is precise. A unicorn that comes around twice a century, an anomaly. Vocab lesson with Sim. I got you. All right, last one. Trey says, why does this, man, I got to get another lens for this camera or something. Trey says, Ben has been gifted with good receivers and a good defense his whole career. No quarterback in history of this game has had the receivers he's had. Now that I can't really debate right offhand, but if we're talking about totality, I don't know. Maybe there's an argument there. I'm not sure, but what you did say that I do agree with. Come on, man. Ben, listen, them years we won Super Bowls or was contending for it, our defense was number 1 or number 2. Ben has never been the guy that just destroyed you time after time in the playoff. And again, I love my quarterback. I love that season when he threw 6 touchdowns back to back. He is capable of having great games, yes, but we're not going to sit here and act like, all right, I'm done, man. I'm done. Listen, this has been a great night. Love you guys. I don't think I'm giving you 2 hours again. I got to run. But I love you guys, man. Appreciate everybody from coming through. Appreciate all the donations. And if you prefer to donate outside of YouTube, wow, we just got another one. Let me read that. Round of applause to C. Brown. He says, great show, Sim. Always appreciate the work you do and the information you present to your audience. We can all agree to disagree. Absolutely. It's just fun here. There's no right and wrongs. You know, some of us might get emotional about our opinions, but we're just talking. Just talking. But thank y'all, man. And again, if you would prefer to donate outside of YouTube, PayPal is available. Cash App is available. I thank you in advance if you choose to do so. That information is in the description. Other than that, the only thing I will request from you guys, if you like what you saw tonight, hit the like button. Show me that you liked it. If you disliked it, show me that as well. But then definitely do this. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe. I did see Marlon subscribe tonight. Somebody else subscribed. I said your name earlier. I just can't remember it right now. Thank y'all for that. And if you are a subscriber, make sure you cut on your notifications, because how else would you be notified that I'm live? The next time you guys will see me will be, let's shoot for, it's probably going to have to be Friday because I have something to do Saturday night. It's probably going to be Friday with the pregame. So I'll see you guys on Friday. For you guys who have become members of the channel, I got special content coming your way. It should be tomorrow. Hopefully it's all 22, but if it's not, I'll just show the TV angle of the plays I talked about earlier in the game so you guys can see a closer look as far as what I was referring to. But all right, that's going to do it. Hope everyone has a great night. Thanks for tuning in. As always, stay blessed, stay safe, and thank you, of course, for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.